Good afternoon, YouTube. What's going on? General Mesa back at it with some Destiny. So, we went through my top 10 legendaries that I'm taking into Rise of Iron. We're going to go through my top 10 exotics this time. So, let me know in the comment section what your top 10 exotics are. Without further ado, let's just run around the Dreadnought and shoot some shit. Okay, coming in at number 10, you're going to be surprised. It is Red Death. And you're saying, Red Death? That thing stinks on ice right now. Alright, look, in PvP, yeah, this type of pulse rifle, like No One's Mercy, this type of rate of fire and impact, yeah, not very good. But for PvE purposes, and even for like the raid and stuff, I relied on this thing way too much in King's Fall, mainly for the health regen. This thing is great, and I'm holding out that in the next weapon update, they're going to buff this thing, okay? This is the only exotic they did not touch. They buffed everything else, or touched everything else, in terms of exotics. In the last weapon patch, they did nothing to Red Death. But this thing is kind of invaluable when it comes to the whole health regen thing here. So, in case you're not familiar, let's look at the perks real quick. So, we got Red Death, which is going to give you your health back and also speed reloads, okay? So, if you combine these with Pulse Rifle Gloves, very, very fast reload. You got Snapshot, high caliber rounds, you got single point sling, unflinching, and what else we got? Accurized ballistics, field choke, or aggressive ballistics. You can go with aggressive ballistics, but I don't really think it makes that much of a difference in terms of impact. But then again, let me know in the comment section. But yeah, this thing I'm definitely taking it to Rise of Iron. Okay, next up we have the Raise Lighter. Now this is an interesting one because I used to, alright, did I just miss him? I used to prefer the Bolt Caster. That was like my favorite one out of all the swords. But man, this thing's solar. I've used it so many times where it's like a weekly heroic and it's solar. And also, you know what? I might be changing my tune when Rise of Iron comes out, because watching a lot of the footage and seeing a lot of the stuff I experienced when I went to Bungie to capture Rise of Iron, there's a lot of Void Shields and a lot of Arc Shields. I did see some solar ones, but I think a lot of the Siva are using Void and Arc for their shields here. So, but this thing does so much damage when you press R2 or whatever button it is on the Xbox. I'm sorry, I've been playing my Xbox for so long. So yeah, this is pretty much the main sword. But then again, depending on the elemental shields of the Siva, I might be changing my tune. Okay, next up is going to be the Julia, Gulia, Boolean Gemini. What movie is that from? Stupid line, I know. This thing I love so much because it rewards you for not having skill. See, like I'm body shotting there, and I'm getting myself an armor boost, which will stack up to 3 times. That's one of the choosable perks. You can actually choose to get a little bit more agility from it, but I always go with the armor because if you're killing low-level minions, you can stack your armor up to 3 times. This was a long quest, too. I remember when I got this. I think I was one of the first ones to get it. One of the first ones. Not the first. One of the first ones. But yeah, look at the OES site. I believe this was supposed to be the 347 Dynasty or something like that, which never came out. So let's look at the perks right here. So I go with Smooth Ballistics. You got Unflinching. Here you can choose Single Point Sling, Hammer Forged, or you can go with Perfect Balance. I like Perfect Balance. So here is Or Another, which bonus armor on non-precision kills. Bad Aim's McGillicuddy stacks up to 3 times. Or you can go it one way, which bonus agility on precision kills stacks up to 3 times. Okay, next up is going to be the Bad Juju. And what is not to like about this thing? String of Curse, you know, it's a little sentimental to me because this was the first exotic that I got. It was the first exotic quest in year 1, for me at least. Yeah, you have a perk called String of Curses, which means when you get a kill, you get an instant reload, and you also get a little bit of bonus damage, and you also get your super back faster. So, see, like major ultras like that, I usually don't use it on major ultras, okay, or bosses. You want to use this for boss fights. I like to use this on patrol, but in strikes and things like that where I need to get supers very, very quickly, I will use this thing a lot. But if they're usually yellow bar, for me at least, it doesn't do enough damage. PvP, if you use this thing, you will get an extra super. I'd say probably 1 to 2 extra supers. Well, if you're a beast, you probably get 2 extra supers. Someone like me, it's average at best. I get maybe 1 super. So let's take a look at the perks real quick here. So String of Curses, that's the main perk. After each kill, this weapon will reload instantly and increase damage for a short time. Kills will help charge your super. In the middle, you got Armor Piercing Rounds, Ascended or Perfect Balance. Got Hip Fire, Smart Drift Control, Soft Ballistics, and Smooth Ballistics. So Smooth Ballistics, you get more range, and you can go with Perfect Balance. I like to do the Send It and go with Smart Drift Control. Kind of a balance between stability and also range. Alright, next up, this is just for PvP, but I'm using it in PvE, and that is the beloved Last Word. And I say beloved because this thing is just silly in PvP. I was using it tonight, recording some live commentaries with it, and it's true, when in doubt, pull the last word out, okay? The range is ridiculous, even though it doesn't say it on paper. I do believe they took away the hip fire bonus damage on this thing, if you're not familiar with it, but if you look at all the pros, what do they use? They use a sniper, and they use the last word to clean people up. Yeah, and it just looks cool, and it sounds cool, and I got a replica of it, alright? Hand-painted replica last word. How can I not include this thing? If you're not familiar, let's go through the perks real quick. So you've got soft ballistics, smart drift control, and aggressive ballistics, but man, your range just goes down. Look at that, no range, no stability. So I always go with soft ballistic. You got hip fire, you got send it, high caliber rounds. Does that have send it? No, perfect balance. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. You got perfect balance, you got high caliber rounds, single point sling. Now the main perk is improved stability and target acquisition when firing from the hip. I believe it used to give you some bonus damage when hip firing, right? Oh, I should look here. No, okay, fan fire. Yeah, this thing used to give you some bonus damage, I believe, when you hip fired someone and got a crit on them. So, but not anymore. Just aim down sight in PvP. You just wreck people with it. Doesn't matter what range. Okay, next up we have the Suros Regime, which you're probably surprised on, but this thing does come in handy. And I know auto rifles are not really in a great place right now, or at least for me they're not, whether it's in PvE or PvP. But this thing does have some pretty useful perks, and if they actually give auto rifles just I don't know. I think auto rifles just need a little bit of a buff. Maybe Suros, it's, I don't know. You know what? I like to use focus fire. Okay, right now I have it set to spinning up just for demonstration purposes. Where are these two Cabal? Hold on, you know what? Let's go kill a bunch of Hive over here. Yeah, you could use spinning up, which was the year 2 perk. The year 1 didn't have it. It only had focus fire. But yeah, this thing hits like a truck, and it's like having glass half full and a little bit of the Red Death perk in there, because the Suros Legacy perk is you have a chance, and I use that term loosely because before I had Red Death, when I had Suros, I used to sometimes have to use this and pray that I actually would get my health back. But yeah, you have a chance of getting your health back, and also it's like having glass half full. So let's go in and let's just ignore that taken real quick right here. Let's look at the perks real quick. So for me, I have mine set up. I always go with smart drift control. I like focus fire better. It just hits harder. Suros Legacy, bottom half of each magazine deals bonus damage and has a chance to return health. So it's kind of like having glass half full. You could choose hammer forged or lightweight. I go with hammer forged. And in PvP, this thing's pretty decent. In the right hands, not for me. I'm not very good with auto rifles, you know. On occasion, I'll mess with this, but for the most part, if I'm trying to do well, trying to go positive, I'm going to use Mida or I'm going to use the last word. Okay, next up on the menu is going to be the Zalo. Is it Jalo or Zalo Supercell? But I gotta say, I only use this thing in certain situations. Oh, this poor Hive's getting laid into by the Cabal. Only in certain situations, and that's mainly when the weekly heroics or any type of nightfall involves arc burn. This is our only exotic, it is our only primary that does elemental damage. So if it's a Vanguard Strike playlist week with Arc Burn, you want to use this thing, okay? It doesn't hit the hardest, but it doesn't matter, because if it's Arc Burn, you're going to shred through things. In regular PvE stuff, I don't use it. I just feel like it doesn't do enough damage. It's kind of like Monte Carlo. All right, let's look at the perks here, in case you're not familiar. Arc projectiles have a chance to chain lightning when enemies are close together. I go with smart drift control. You got persistence, so this weapon grows more accurate the longer it is fired. Middle, you got hammer forged, you got rifle barrel, and you got brace frame. I go with brace frame because I feel like this thing kicks like a mule if you don't use brace frame. We got bolts from the blue. Double kills with this weapon charge a small amount of super energy and return ammo to the magazine. So a little bit of Suros Legacy, a little bit of bad Juju and a little bit of Red Death right in there. Babel mode, let's move on to the next one. Alright, we are getting into the top 3 now, and no, it's not this legendary DIS 47 max stability. It is, of course, the Black Spindle. And, of course, I can't get a critical. Yeah, this thing is just... God, can I shoot you, please? Thank you. Okay, sorry. You guys know I have terrible aim. Yeah, Black Spindle. I pretty much can't do anything in raids without this thing, okay? This thing is going to come in so handy, I think, in the Rise of Iron raid, if there's anything with a big critical spot or a boss with a big old helmet on. There we go. Here you go. Let's go through the perks real quick. So this is the year 2 exotic version of the Black Hammer. So I go with CQB ballistics. Suppose you guys on my stream one time was telling me that you get a bit more damage if you go with smooth ballistics. This is what I use to lay into Golgoroth's belly, obviously. You got white nails, so rapidly landing 3 precision shots will refill your magazine from your reserves. Yeah, so Golgoroth's belly, a fallen walker, anything where you're going to land criticals over and over, you want to use it. So you got snapshot, flared magwell, and perfect balance. I like to go with perfect balance. The mulligan, missing a shot has a chance to return ammo directly to the magazine. So Black Spindle, this thing looks so cool. To me, it's one of the coolest looking exotics and coolest sounding exotics. Alright, coming in at number 2, what's it going to be? You guessed it, Telesto the Molesta, as Morning Afterkill calls it.
What's up, guys? It's Jay.
I'm a big fan of his, actually. I love him. Telesto the Molesta. This thing, to me, is one of the most unique exotics we ever got. Whether it's a Void Burn or if it's a specialist for a modifier on Nightfalls or Prison of Elders or whatever, this thing just shreds, okay? I use it for most boss fights. Follows to Auric, Darkblade, even the Undying Mind, even if it's not specialist or not some sort of burn, just because it's just so much damage in those projectiles. I think you do damage right when you hit them with it, and then the projectiles do some more damage. So let's go look at the perks right here. So first up, Unplanned Reprieve. Fusion projectiles attach and then detonate with a delayed Void Blast. I go with CQB Ballistics, you got Battle Runner, you got Harbinger Sparks, so multi-kills with this weapon, spawn orbs for your allies. And I go Enhanced Battery to get the fast charger. But I don't know, I really hope Rise of Iron, when we get new exotics, they create something as cool and unique as Telesto the Molesta. Yeah, look at this thing. How can anyone, look at it. There we go, running faster. It's always funny when a Battle Runner kicks in because I'm like, whoa, I'm going really, really fast. Faster than Mida? Yeah. So yeah, this thing's awesome, guys. I really hope that Rise of Iron comes out with some new, unique exotics similar to this thing, or like Black Spindle, just something different that we haven't seen before. That's cool. So number one, what do you think it is? What do you think it is? It's the cliche. It's Mida Multi-Tool Bag. I don't know what I would do without this thing. It's my number one PvP gun, and I know it's only for scrubs and this and that. You guys are better than me. Alright, I get it. It's cool. But I use this for everything. For PvP, PvE. In fact, before I go in and play the Crucible, I go in and I'll warm up. Someone come over here. I'll warm up with Mida in PvE, just trying to get some headshots. And then, oh, where'd you come from? Sorry, I had the audio turned off. I'll warm up in PvE with this thing. I don't know, I'm too used to the aim assist, I'm too used to how fast you could shoot it, but the main thing, excuse me Mr. Thrally Man, I'm too used to how fast you run around with it, because you get a speed boost with the main perk. We'll go through the perks in a second, but when you're used to how fast you run around with Mida, it's really hard when you switch to another weapon, but it hits decently hard in PvE. I think more people should use it in PvE, but let's go in and take a look at the perks in case you're not familiar with it. So here we go, kinetic damage, okay, soft ballistics, you got third eye. I'm a nervous Nelly, I'm always looking at my radar, I need third eye. You got lightweight, and then you combine lightweight with Mida Multi-Tool. With this weapon boosts movement speed and fires on a hair trigger. So boom, 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 shoots really, really, you don't have to pull the trigger all the way back. Shoots so damn fast, so I love this thing. I'm so glad they brought it back to year 2. I remember, yeah, it came with Sparrow Racing, that's right. I remember I was saving up marks to buy it from the exotic blueprint vendor, and then you guys were all watching me on stream, and I cashed in an old exotic engram, and it gave me a year 2 Mida Multi-Tool at a higher light level too. Yeah, I think exotic engrams, I already made a whole video on this. Exotic engrams, they're probably going to give old stuff, but we still don't know if they're going to decrypt to higher than 335 light. But tune in here, September 20th. I'll be streaming every day right here on YouTube. 1 character per day to be Warlock on day 1. Wednesday will be my Huntress, and then Thursday will be my Titan, and then Friday, it is raid day. And we're going to be doing it right as soon as the raid drops. I don't know if we're going for World's First, but it's going to be a joint Rezo and YOLO. Lords of Yellow. Shout out to my friend Raider. He's over in Iraq right now. He's in the Marines serving us. Thank you for your service, good sir. I actually just got him a blacksmith shader. Actually, I didn't. Cosmo from Bungie got me one to give to him. So his clan, the Lords of YOLO, and then me and Expat from Rezo are going to be doing the raid with them on that Friday. So make sure you tune it in here. So if you haven't guessed, Babble Mode's engaged. So let me know what your top 10 exotics are that's going into Rise of Iron, and let's just hope we get some good ones for Rise of Iron. New exotics. Oh, that's all we want is new exotics. Anyway, that's it, guys. Drop a like on this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at Mesa. Check out my stream, usually on YouTube, occasionally on Twitch. I'm flaky like that. That's it. I'm out of here like Vladimir.